Welcome, everybody, to the Versa Business Tips Podcast. I am your host, Shaheen Mazloom, and we're here today with William Tsui, the AI legend. This guy knows everything about AI. He's built an amazing company, and I'm super excited to chat with you today, William.
Hey, how are you?
I'm doing well, man, doing well. So explain to me about your background. What's your expertise in, and what does your business do?
Well, I've always been a tech entrepreneur. If you looked into my LinkedIn, right? This is not my first rodeo.
Right.
You would say, right? Last one was a fintech. Now, with this whole Chat GPT blowing up since last November, wow, okay, I gotta get into this, right? So, yeah, sorry about that. There was a call there that I had to
No
turn
worries.
off for now. But with the Chat GPT coming on last November, this is incredible. I was kind of telling you a little bit about the backstory on how I came to be doing this because of some legal disagreement with some paperwork and all that stuff. And I just basically built this for myself. And yeah, once I actually launched it in early January, it just kind of started blowing up from there.
Right. And now this thing that you built, what exactly is it designed to do?
Mm-hmm. Right. So yeah, as the name suggests, we simplified and decode legalese first and foremost, right? So as an entrepreneur like ourselves, or even everyday people, or even a small business owner, you deal with bank statements or paperwork, government stuff, or even just software services or whatever, terms of services, right?
Right.
A lot of influencers tend to use that example for my videos. They just go straight to Google or Twitter or Facebook. It's okay, all these stuff that we are agreeing to blindly most of the time, or all the time, what are we actually agreeing to? No one knows. Right.
So your software actually decodes that and makes so people can understand exactly what they're signing or what they're reading. Right. Nobody understands that stuff. I don't even think most attorneys understand what some of that. So I was talking about Chat GPT, right? So this new wave, a lot of people are starting to hear about it and talk about AI. What Chat GPT does, most people I feel like are just using it to create an email or create a text or a video script. I've used it a few times and it's pretty incredible, right? It's like having an assistant, a free assistant, right? So what are the more advanced things that AI can do for business owners that you've had experience with yourself?
Well, one of the craziest things that I did recently, or especially with this company, is have it write articles at scale. So one of the hustles that I had before was a writing company that helps other businesses write SEO articles,
right,
so that they can rank on Google and all that stuff. So back then, I was charging around $100 per piece, and it takes my team, my writers, and all that about a week to produce one piece of writing.
Wow.
So roughly $100 1 week for one article.
Wow.
Right. So for this company, it took me about 3 weeks, $300 to write over 10,000.
10,000 articles. Wow.
Yeah, it's if I were in other white collar jobs,
right,
I would be pardon my French, shit my pants right now.
Right.
So because it's not destructive, won't even describe this. It's
it's completely changing the game. It's completely changing the game. Yeah. That's incredible.
If you're not catching up to this whole thing, you're gonna get left behind.
Yeah, 100%. Everybody that's in the know, and that's the whole point of us doing this podcast, right? Is to get as much information out to the everyday business owner as possible, so people know about this stuff. They know about the tools that they have at their disposal that they should be using and they can be using to really grow their businesses. So you were telling me before we started the episode that you had actually had Chat GPT create code for you. Is that right?
Yes. And it wasn't actually that good at that time because this was back in early January. Wow. And I am I've been the guy, I can describe myself as what they call script kidding,
right,
where I know how to grab code from the internet and shove it into different places so I can kind of get stuff working the way I want it,
Right.
So my coding experience is extremely limited, but I can use WordPress and all that stuff to kind of get MVPs out there.
Wow.
Right. So with the limited knowledge I have, I was able to use the tool to create JavaScript and PHP code, shove it in the right places, and get the first version of the software service launched.
Wow.
Within 24 hours.
Within 24 hours. That's incredible.
Yeah, like I just rushed it right out the door.
Code writers would take them how long do you think?
Oh my God. Like all my previous startups, I've been trying to basically like beg them to work for me before I have any money with like, oh yeah, it's like, this will be a great business.
Right.
It's like, earn so much money. Like even I have raised $1 million on my last startup, trying to convince other coders to become my co-founders is difficult.
Right. Just hiring people to write code is hard. And with this tool, it's done in minutes. Like that's just crazy.
Right. Like even if you got money, right, and you know what to ask for, this would have taken weeks. Right. Now this thing, all I really doing was tapping into the OpenAI API code into the structure, so I can actually launch something really quickly and iterate. So ever since January, there was actually other code changes that I was able to pull off myself without a tech co-founder, just with the help of Chat GPT 3.5 and then 4.0 now.
Wow. So would you say now more than ever, it's way easier for somebody to get into the tech business or into business in general with these tools like Chat GPT?
Yeah, like with the internet, like the bar was like lowered to like here already.
Oh yeah.
Now with AI,
now it's just
like that bar, it's obliterated.
Yeah.
Like it's all gone. Like I think this is why all the big tech companies are freaking out on the AI strategy.
Oh yeah.
Because almost everyone, like myself with like barely little resources, right, could challenge them.
Yeah. Oh,
like
big
when
time.
someone like myself can pull off 10,000 articles in 3 weeks. I could have done it sooner if I was a little bit more tech inclined.
Right.
But I was able to pull something off like this.
Hold on. So are you
everyone else can do it.
Are you telling me you're not tech inclined?
Very little. Like
so
very little my tech ability.
Yet you've created this software that decodes legal documents with the help of AI. That's incredible. Like I don't think people understand how insane that is. Right? Like,
oh my God, like I've been trying to tell a lot of people about what I'm doing and how disruptive it is. And people still like just don't want to listen, or they just blind to it.
I don't think they believe it, right? It's like until you see, honestly, until I saw it for myself, how much time it saved me. Like I didn't really believe it, right? So I had the opportunity to get AI implemented into my business about 2 years ago. I decided to pull the trigger a year ago, and in the last year, we've 25x'd our revenue in 1 year.
Exactly.
And all we're using as far as AI is just simple messaging, emailing, and ringless voicemail outreach. So simple customer outreach and conversational AI. And it's really not that expensive. I think it cost me a couple $1,000 to implement, and we have some monthly fees and stuff, but 25x our revenue in less than a year.
Huge.
Like just because of AI. And there's even, these free tools out there like Chat GPT. I mean, that's even changing it even more. Like I created even just a simple thing. So my fiance is a realtor, right? She has a few different businesses as well. And she has a house that she's trying to find for a client. Well, there's not a lot of houses available like her client's looking for. So I created this message on Chat GPT and created multiple variations, stuck it into an AI platform, and it's reaching out to every realtor in the state, asking them if they have any clients that are willing to sell a house that is within this criteria. It took me maybe 4 minutes to do. And I think she's already got the house sold, and it's 3:00.
Yeah, you can deploy everything at scale, like within minutes. Like if you know what to ask for.
Exactly. Yeah. If you're business minded, or even if read a few books. There's so much information out there you can learn, and then ask Chat GPT.
Yeah. Just watch a few videos. Like everyone is starting from scratch today. right? So everybody, they claim to be a guru or they know
Right.
everything. It's like nobody knows everything.
Yeah, nobody knows
Just try it.
everything except for the internet and AI,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
Like,
they know more than we do.
oh yeah, 100%. I was reading this article the other day that some Google robot taught themselves how to play soccer without any programming or anything. It's like, that's kind of scary.
Yeah.
Like, so what is your opinion on this whole like Terminator, Skynet? Like, should people be afraid of AI? What's your opinion on that?
Personally, I think it's almost too late to think about that now.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, because we're past the point of no return where I'm pretty sure the whole open source of AI was not part of the plan of like the big tech companies. Right. Until Stability AI just released the first open source model for images. And that kind of...
it put a lot of people out of business.
Tipped the scales.
Yeah.
And made everyone release their products earlier than what they were planning.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, because you have these tools, these free tools to be able to launch your product earlier. Yeah, I completely agree. It is too late to worry about it now. AI is already out there. It's everywhere. My thought on it is that, like, if something were to happen and, we end up in a Terminator type situation, well, at least I'm doing what I love. I'm making as much money as possible. I'm helping as many people as possible. Live your life. If it comes to that, it comes to that. We have no control anyway, right?
Basically, with my thoughts too. Yeah, because it's
you can't
just
control
beyond
everything.
What my ability is already.
Yeah, exactly. Like using Chat GPT isn't going to end up being the destruction of the earth.
Possibly, if it's going to happen, it will happen, regardless of me and you trying to stop it or not, right? Yep. I think like Elon Musk had the right idea to try to open source it by creating open AI. Yeah. But like, who knew that Microsoft took it over basically? Right. Like not long after, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So rather than having just a few large big tech companies controlling everything, open source is the next best
100%, because then everybody has access to it, right? There's no, the guy over there doesn't have a better, what's the word I'm looking for? They're not more privileged, right? Like they don't have access to things that we don't have access to, right? Everybody has access to the same things now, right? So anybody can be super successful, create a big tech company, become a billionaire or whatever they want to become by using these free tools that are out there. It's almost like, social media was this big wave, right? And I still talk to people sometimes that are like, oh, I don't have a Instagram or I don't have a Facebook or whatever it is. It's like, these are free tools to get your name out there and your business out there. Like, why would you not be using it?
It's like the beginning of the internet again, like in the 90s. Exactly. Like it's like the Wild West all over again.
Yep. I couldn't agree more.
So it's a huge opportunity for everybody to just jump in and try something.
Yeah, exactly. Like either jump in now or you're going to get left behind by other people that are taking advantage and are using this technology and these resources.
Right.
Yeah. I couldn't agree more.
Completely agree.
So, you've obviously built this awesome legal tool. What is it that drives you? Like, what is your reason? Are you just trying to solve some problems and make some money, or what is it that drives you in these decisions that you make with the businesses that you start?
Yeah. So like initially, like I actually created this just for myself to solve my own issues with suppliers and other partners in business, right? And as I worked more towards this, it's like, oh my God, like I could be helping not just entrepreneurs, but actually everyday people. Yeah. Because of what I kind of foresee with just even like the basic product, right? It's almost like Netflix for legalese contracts, right? When people look at their bank statements or the government stuff or just terms of services everywhere, like you may not need it every day, but I'm sure like everyone comes across this stuff at least once a week,
100%,
or a few times a month.
100%, right? Especially nowadays. I mean, there's so many scammers out there. Like, it's important to use something like this to make sure you're getting a good deal. You understand the contract, right? Like, especially in business. I mean, there's so many sharks out there taking advantage of business owners of what they don't know, right? Like your guy who has a mechanic shop, He knows how to fix cars. He doesn't understand legal jargon. He doesn't understand lending or credit card processing or whatever it is. So yeah, I mean, I think what you've built is absolutely incredible, man, and so needed. Now, for those that don't know, what does something like that cost? So if somebody wanted to get this this system to be able to protect themselves and decode their legal messages or emails or whatever it may be, what is that going to cost them to have something like that?
All right. So yeah, like we find this absolutely essential for practically everybody. Yeah. So we actually released like a totally free version.
Wow.
So that you can actually decode just paragraphs at a time.
Wow.
And you can do a whole bunch of them as long as you need, right? We don't charge any money for that.
That's incredible.
That's our public service to the world.
Wow.
Right? Try to make a difference, right?
Yeah.
So for convenience, of course, we need to make money to keep on doing this. Of course. So if you want to do it by the pages or by the book, right? Then yeah, we got to make you pay a little bit for that.
Okay.
So right now, just for the home subscription, it's only $6 a month.
Wow.
And for professionals where you're running a business or you're doing a large amount of documents, all we charge is $50 a month.
Wow.
It's pretty fair.
Yeah, absolutely. Very fair. I mean, your everyday person, that needs to do paragraphs at a time, whatever, it's completely free. And the most it's going to be is $50 a month. I mean, you get 12 million. Yeah. I mean, 12 million business owners in the United States alone. 12 million times 50, you're making a pretty penny. And I don't see why every business owner would not have that. Right, $50 a month is nothing to make sure you are protected in every business decision that you make, or every document that you sign, or whatever it may be. Yeah, it's a very small price to pay. You would
be looking at going to the notary or going to the lawyers or even getting a paralegal to do the work. Like even just one visit or one phone call might have cost you that much already.
Oh yeah. This is going to piss off a lot of lawyers, but hey, man, I think what you've done is absolutely amazing, dude. That's great. So what's the next? What's the next step for you? Like, what's so you've built this, it's working, people are using it. What's the next thing that you want to come out with, or what are you going to be doing as far as AI goes?
Yeah, so basically a few weeks ago we launched a second product, which we call the legal non-advisor.
Right.
So basically it's almost like a lawyer that answers your questions based on AI, of course. You give it some context based on, let's say, your location or the legal framework that you're in, let's say New York rental laws or whatever, right? You can go ask it, hey, how many cats I can keep, or how many dogs I can keep in whatever, right? So it's almost like you're having your own lawyer in your pocket 24/7.
Wow.
For $50 a month.
Wow. That's awesome.
So like we cannot claim that we are lawyers at all, because we would get in a lot of trouble.
You have to have a law degree to information. Do that, right? You're giving free information. Yeah, I totally get that.
So like we are also working with actual lawyers, another platform that we're working on that works worldwide, so that when our tool is got them to a good enough place that they got a good understanding of what's going on, and they actually need a proper lawyer to act on their
behalf, they won't have had to pay for all that extra legal fees, and they could just get the job done at the end. Yeah, that makes sense.
And then we can refer them to proper lawyers in their specific areas of specialty and location, right?
Wow.
So that's kind of like we're doing the whole full service. Right?
Yeah, that's great, man. So I mean, the opportunities in just in your business sound endless, right? There's all kinds of different ways you can take it. Very cool. Yes. Now, I got to ask, how long did it take you to build the tech company for the league? What is it? The legal decoder. How long did it take by using AI? How long did it take to build that out?
Well, the very first MVP, like the most minimally viable product, right, took me from idea to launching a domain and the product 24 hours. 24
hours? Oh my God.
It was nuts. Like it was almost 24 hours nonstop. Like I barely slept.
Yeah.
It's like, compared to what I was going through before in my previous startups, it would have been months and months of
100%.
Just begging and talking and meetings.
100%.
And have to raise a lot of money for it.
Yeah, recently.
I did it all basically by myself.
Yeah, recently we did a big expansion and we were raising money. And I asked Chat GPT to create a pitch deck for me.
Oh, nice.
Seconds, literally seconds. And I think within a few hours, I had the investor lined up and ready to go. It was just like, it blew my mind. It really is incredible, man. AI is just, the possibilities
with the
are
right
literally
instructions,
endless.
right? It's
right.
practically like 80% done.
Yeah,
with
exactly.
Just one instruction.
If you know
right?
what you want it to do, you tell it to do it,
yes,
and it'll get done within seconds.
yeah, it's incredible.
Amazing.
Like so, like the whole world's flipped upside down, and so many people still don't even realize.
Oh
it
yet. Yeah. Now, I know some people are kind of worried that the government's going to step in and not let people use it, or who knows, right? Like they're already talking about shutting down TikTok, and what do you think about that? Do you think that the powers to be are going to control AI, or are they going to have to control AI? Like, what is your take on that?
I would think they would keep trying. Like Italy has basically banned Chat GPT already.
Italy has,
but, Italy,
wow.
and I think the rest of EU is going to try to follow. But since open source models have been released for not just images and text too now, so there is like Stability AI just released it yesterday morning. It's called Stable LM, I think, and then there has been several other models that has been almost as good as ChatGPT from November last year, kind of quality, right? And you can run it on your laptop offline in 3 gigs.
Right. So they're not going to be able to control it, period.
No, they cannot. It's physically impossible now. It's almost like Bitcoin. Right. You can try to ban Bitcoin.
They can try,
Bitcoin
but it's not
will survive.
Possible. Right. Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't know there was offline versions. That's crazy.
It's out.
I can't even fathom how that even works.
It's nuts. Like, it's not very fast yet. Like, it's not as fast as running it off OpenAI, but it's fast enough that's usable.
Right. It does the job. It does what it's intended to do.
Exactly.
Wow. Insane.
It's a pretty incredible role that we're stepping into.
It really is.
It's scary, but it's very exciting too.
Right. It's almost like, I almost feel like our parents probably felt when TV came out, or like when electricity started popping up, or whatever it may be. Right. This is just a phenomenon that's like, it's changing the world.
Oh, huge.
I mean, you're changing the world, like with your legal decoder. Like, that is just. That, man, that's awesome, bro. Like, I'm trying to do it myself, by getting all this information out there. I want to be able to make as big of a change as possible, man. But you're doing it already, man. That's huge. How many users do you guys have already?
We have about in the low 3 digits right now, in terms of users, and then we're bringing in about 4 figures in income so far in MRR. So it's only been 3 months. So it's one of my fastest growing projects.
I mean, you built it in 24 hours.
Yeah, the very first version. Yeah.
Right. So it's
pretty incredible.
Yeah, that's amazing, man. Good for you. Good for you.
Yeah, because for the previous startup, like 3 months, I'm still be talking to investors and still begging coders to please start work.
Right.
It's like now I'm like, investors are coming to me.
Yeah.
And I'm actually running enough margin and enough income so that I can start reinvesting the profits into expanding already.
Right. In just 3 months. That's mind blowing. 3 months. Wow.
Yeah, it's absolutely nuts.
Now, for those people that don't really understand AI or how to use it or whatever it may be, what would be the biggest piece of advice that you have for those people?
Try everything.
Right. Just try it.
Give it a go, because it's free, right? Just go sign up, or like the open source, like self-hosted model are still difficult to use right now.
Right.
So the easiest way for most of the people, just go to Chat GPT and sign up for a free account. Just start using it and learn about what the fuss is all about. Because instead of denying it and just keeping your head in the sand, see what it is.
Yeah, see what it is. You got nothing to lose.
If this will be a disruptive thing to your livelihood, or if it's gonna enhance your productivity somehow.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah, I couldn't agree
Everybody's
more.
gonna find out for themselves.
Yeah, and the second I heard about it, I'm like, oh, I got to see what this is, and I had to do something. I think it was, I had it create a video script for me. So like, I do a lot of videos and reels, and I was like, create a video script about the 3 ways a barbershop can grow their business or something. And it just like created. I'm like, I couldn't have said it any better myself. It's
exactly right. You probably made a really good prompt there because you know exactly what to ask for.
Exactly. Yeah, it's incredible. So, would you say that that's the most important thing is knowing what you need and asking for it in the right way?
Yeah. Like for the next, I would say 6 months to a year, the biggest skill that we need to all learn is what they call prompt engineering now. It's the best way to get what you need to be most productive and most useful.
And what is prompt engineering?
So basically just knowing what to ask for.
Okay,
right?
I gotcha.
Yeah, like they're saying, like there's been articles that saying, oh yeah, there's these jobs that pay prompt engineers like $300,000 a year or whatever, right? Just to get like the perfect way to use the AI. Right. So I don't believe that they're gonna keep paying you that kind of money to do it, right? Because once you kind of figure it out the first time, it's already done, right? But for individuals like you and I or everyday people, right, just learn how to use it as the greatest tool ever.
Yeah.
And it can only go uphill.
Right.
Because otherwise, if you just ignore it for the next 6 months, a year, you're going to be so left behind, you don't even know what the hell just happened.
Yeah, exactly. So, so if people want to use your legal decoder app, or is it an app or is it a website?
It's a web app.
It's a web app. Okay, so you can use both.
Yeah, so it works on desktop, laptops, and mobile phones.
Awesome. Okay, and so what's the website? Where do they need to go to? I'll put it down at the bottom of the video, but for those that are listening on the podcast, what's that website?
Yeah, it's just legalesedecoder.com.
Legalesedecoder.com. So LEGALESE decoder.com.
Exactly.
Very simple. Awesome.
Regular spelling.
Yeah.
Nothing fancy about that.
Right. Well, yeah. I mean, that's I think some people get really complex in the name of their business sometimes, and it's like, why? Right? You want it to be able to be found
what
easily.
What are they looking for?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. We get some really weird business names sometimes.
Something that's way too abstract.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Man, it's been a pleasure talking to you. I love talking about AI because it's changed my business tenfold. Obviously, it's changed your life, your business, everything. Just in the last year. So I'm super happy for you. Super excited to see where you go with these businesses. And I can't wait to talk to you again in another few months and see how things have progressed and changed.
Yeah. Love to come on your show again.
Absolutely, brother. So, William, you have yourself a great day, and we'll chat soon.
Okay. Thank you so much.
All right. Take it easy.
Take care.